Hello, this is Maddie, and this is going to be an introduction to my memories from my early childhood. I was in a store today and I saw this. It is a coconut, and that reminded me about my playlist because in there I have got a video about the Romford Carnival, which caused a great deal of excitement in my childhood. Um, on my part, it was because they had a fun fair afterwards where you could win a coconut if you knocked it off the coconut. Well, they were on poles. You knocked it off the pole, and you went home with a coconut, and that was great fun. Or maybe you might have won a goldfish or something like that. So anyway, that's why I'm making these playlists. So that older people can look back at their own memories. So I will be collecting some videos from my viewers with some of their memories and suggestions, I hope. And they will be able to give me feedback in my polls in the community. So just going through this playlist, I'll explain what I've done and what they mean to me. So it starts with Queen Elizabeth because I was born in the 50s. You can't do the 50s in England without Queen Elizabeth, whether you're a monarchist or not. She did define our era, but I don't think I'd heard of the Queen in the 50s. I was much more keen on Sooty. So Sooty is to follow, and I don't know quite why I like Sooty because we don't have a TV in our household. We didn't get to watch TV ads, but they did exist. And so the Sooty retro video is followed by one of the first TV commercials hosted by Sooty. Then another thing in my childhood days that I remember is the Banana Boat song. We must have driven our parents absolutely insane with this. Anyway, I'm sure most of you know it, but take a listen for today. Then we did have grandparents who had a TV, and my favourite programme was Captain Pugwash. So that's the next video, and Romford Carnival is next. So you can see about the carnival, but I couldn't find the fun fair anywhere. If anyone's got pictures of the fun fair that used to follow the carnival in Romford, let me know. The next one is Billy Cotton's band show, and it's not about the music, it's about the wakey wakey, because that reminds me of my dad. He used to get up every morning early. He would feed the birds in the garden. He would make the tea. He would come up the stairs in his dressing gown, carrying the tea in cups and saucers. He would announce his coming up the stairs with the tea, with a great big wakey wakey. And I have to say, as a family, I think it was very difficult to wake us up. That's probably why he did it. Half time we didn't wake up, and it would be, Maddie, you haven't drunk your tea again. But hey, I can't imagine many fathers who would have done that, and he also got the porridge going. So if you had a father as good at that as that, let me know, because I didn't appreciate it at all at the time. I just thought it was normal. But the next one, do you remember the last A and B phone boxes? Because I remember I was a brownie and we had to do badges, and one of the badges was you had to make a phone call from a public phone box. And it was no easy matter. I mean, we talk about technology today, but making a call from a public phone box was, it was quite a big deal. Following that, we have some relaxing music, time to take a rest break, have a cup of tea or whatever, and there's an alarm at the end of that because I imagine that some carers might settle their loved one or their client down to watch the video, and they might want to find out when it ends. So these playlists are not intended for people to leave their loved ones and go out of the house and leave them isolated. That's not what they're intended for. They're intended for you to get on with stuff in the house, maybe doing the washing or whatever it might be, not to be neglecting the people you're looking after. So that's why I've got the alarm there. Now that's followed by BBC's 50 radio themes. I'm not going to go into what they are because some of you will remember them, and if you do, leave a comment in my video. And that's another thing that we used to hear a lot about was teddy boys. My dad wasn't keen on teddy boys. Some of the other people in the video weren't keen on teddy boys, but it did remind me of being around London in those days. There were plenty of bomb sites, and you see some bomb sites there. My dad would always point them out if we went into the city, because he was actually a fireman during the war. And when he came home, he would give us a fire. Dad, give me a fireman's lift. He'd throw us over his shoulder, to the distress of my mother. And none of us ever came to any harm. Oh. I had a hard time finding many English singers at the top of the charts. In fact, there weren't any charts in the UK in the 50s. But you can't go by the 50s without Elvis Presley, can you? So I've got that there. I've got Heartbreak Hotel. Another memory of my childhood, this is after I started school, but it had still been in the 50s, going into Sainsbury's. And it had a mosaic floor, it had brass handles on the doors, it had those ladies in white hats or I don't know quite what they were white hats, and they would cut up the cheese with the cheese wire, and they would pat the butter with butter pats. So it's a bit of a long video that the Sainsbury's archives, and it's not only just the 50s, but it is I found it quite interesting. Let me know what you thought. Then I've got some more 50s radios. These are kind of things like what do you call it? These are signature tunes. See what your memory gets like when you're old. You can't bring up the words. Semi-detached houses in the suburbs of London always had a backyard, and in the backyard, apart from fairy rings, there would be hedgehogs, and we would feed the hedgehogs. So there's a short video there all about what to do with your hedgehog. Later on in the day, like bedtime, my dad would listen to the shipping news. Now, if you haven't listened to this before, you wouldn't know how wonderful it is for putting you to sleep, because it sounds like the places sound so exotic. They're all the shipping areas around the UK. And I was surprised to find how many other people on YouTube find that, were so familiar with the shipping news, and they didn't understand any of it. Not did I, but the person reading it was very memorable. So I've got a short video of that. And then I think the last one is it's a 3-minute video of relaxation with an alarm at the end of it. Okay, so let me know what you think of those memories of mine and what you would like to see in a video of whatever decade you were born in, whether it be the 40s, the 50s, or 60s, whichever decade. Okay, so that's just what my playlist is about. And I'm going to leave a link somewhere here. I don't even know how I link it. I'm going to leave a link to my poll about what you think I should put in these playlists. Bye for now.